Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. Or you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show, NewsSpin, and we focus on the plight of man's best friend. Tyson, gifted to us by the French, is no more. The broadcast will continue with your calls later at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026, and Amanda will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. We hope you had yourself an enjoyable weekend and you're looking forward to a productive week, and happy Monday to you. It is certainly a sad day. One, it is also an embarrassing day for us in St. Lucia. And I know out of convenience, a lot of people would say that there are so many positives occurring in our country right now. Why focus on the negatives? What is wrong in having a country where we are performing at a very high level? We do not accept mediocrity, and we are always striving for excellence. And that is what would have put the likes of Derek Walcott and Sir Arthur Lewis on the world stage. They were not satisfied with being achievers of success only from a parochial standpoint, only from Castries to Soufrière and Dennery and Ancillary, etc., aiming for higher heights. And one on this occasion could just imagine what the French authorities are going through right now and what they think of us in terms of our leadership at various levels, including at the level of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. Those people, I'm sure, had a special love for Tyson. And just receiving that news on two fronts. The individual who had to inform the authorities that the dog died, not in position to say it was killed, that the dog died, delivering that message, and the French authorities on the other end of the line receiving that shocking and embarrassing news. Will the French feel comfortable going forward in donating another canine or canines to St. Lucia? And I'm sure many people in St. Lucia would want to bury this incident, would want to forget it. But in the case of the French, based on what I'm hearing, they would be asking a lot of questions. And believe you me, they will be, unlike many of us in St. Lucia, we're never curious about important things. We like to sweep things under the carpet. The French, I am told, will be demanding some answers. Now, just in case you missed it. Tyson, that famous dog, which was donated to the Royal St. Lucia Police Force and formally handed over to that law enforcement agency on July the 8th of 2024, is no more. Tyson has died. And Tyson died, I'm told, in the wee hours of last Wednesday. The circumstances remain sketchy, but this is what I've been told. Apparently, the dog ingested rat poison. Now, how it got it, I don't know. I'm not in a position to tell you. You'd have to ask the hierarchy of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, those people who handled the dogs, and of course, where it was located, at the Marine Unit of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. Where is Tyson right now? Very sad. In one of our funeral homes. It is now in one of our funeral homes. But you know, Tyson, consider Tyson an honorary member of NewsSpin. Because we broke the story. Told you about Tyson. I think we even had a photograph of the kennel that it would have sheltered it. I remember people were saying, oh, this kennel looks so sophisticated and all that. Those dogs are special animals. They're not a rubbish breed type. All respect to our rubbish breeds, canines in St. Lucia. They are not the type that would withstand the element. And you see them along Jeremy Street, around the Boulevard, Constitution Park, etc. They require special treatment. It's like a police officer on two legs. The medicals have to be checked. The condition in which they are housed, that has to be looked into. The temperature, in terms of having AC. Transportation is a big issue. The handlers, another big issue. So you don't wake up one day, if you're the Prime Minister of this country, and the National Security Minister and the Home Affairs Minister, and say, boy, you know, I'm thinking of setting up a canine unit overnight. And all I will do is to have one or two handlers, have a canine, and then call it a unit. That is not a unit at all. And I've been reading up on this, and I've been asking questions as well. Because like the Prime Minister, not a policeman, not a dog handler, don't know anything about a canine unit. But I've been asking questions, I have been making the phone calls, and I have been persistent on this issue. And you, new spinners, and including those people who are obsessed for all the wrong reasons with NewsSpin, they can attest to this. So when somebody makes such a donation to you, critical donation, Because in your crime fighting efforts, you can't rely solely on the skills of a human being, male or female. You need the technology, and you also need a canine unit. That's why I have been vociferous in my condemnation of the government's decision to disband the canine unit in 2022. On account of what? The cost. $40,000 a month. Now, at first glance, people were shocked. $40,000 to operate a canine unit? Now we are realizing that it was money well spent. It was money well spent. You had at least 5 dog handlers. 5. They were on rotation. And those dogs, the 3 canines, which the SLP government found in existence, forming a canine unit, they were always under the care, under the watch of those handlers, those 5 handlers. You had vehicles, not 1, maybe 2 or 3 vehicles assigned to the canines. And they were well taken care of. Some smart individual decided that that unit should be disbanded. Now, in more serious jurisdictions, heads would roll. Because why are you disbanding a canine unit? You don't have a replacement. Several years you are operating without such an entity, and you are serious about fighting crime? Canine unit. So to be so reckless and irresponsible in your approach, because I don't know about you, but I am yet to be convinced through any cogent discussion or statement by the authorities that the disbandment of the canine unit was merited, or it was too much. The $40,000 was too much. You see the price that we have paid right now in setting up a so-called canine unit, not well manned. And you can tell me whatever you want, the evidence is there that something went awry, something went wrong. And that is why Tyson is dead today. And unlike previous occasions, this one is crying out for justice. It is crying out for a thorough investigation. And it is crying out for full disclosure. Because I am told that the dog ingested a significant amount of the rat poison to the extent that it got very, very, very ill. I don't want to make any kind of disclosures, certain disclosures. Got very ill, bled profusely internally. We cannot rest on this particular issue. We cannot sweep it under the carpet. We cannot ignore it, because I think this is symptomatic of a bigger problem in St. Lucia. Whether it is through negligence, whether the dog was killed, we certainly need clarification. The French gave us another dog, and that was in April of this year. What will become of this canine? What will become of it? And I am afraid for its welfare. I am very, very afraid for its well-being. And Ambassador Francis Etienne At the time that this dog was handed over to the authorities, that is in April of this year, he made the following statement.
We are happy to be in your island. We are happy to be here in St. Lucia, and we want to foster links one way or another. It's less and less obvious for all of us to gather the means we need, because money is a problem everywhere, in every country, in every administration. But we do have this money. So the dog embodies a lot of things altogether. And this is not the last one. This is just a step in the future cooperation.
Ambassador Francis Adian, French ambassador to St. Lucia. And again, the question is, what is on his mind right now? I wish I could have an audience with him, for him to speak honestly on this embarrassing situation. We are proud that we have 2 Nobel laureates. We are proud that we have Julian Alfred. But this is one occasion when we can bow our heads in shame and be embarrassed. Somebody, a former law enforcement officer, sent me this message, and it reads, in the past, when the Royal St. Lucia Police Force successfully recovered large quantities of illegal drugs or firearms, these accomplishments were handled with discretion. The priority was always the integrity of the investigation and the safety of our officers, not public spectacle. Recently, however, there has been a noticeable shift in approach. The current leadership seems increasingly focused on publicizing operations in a way that resembles showmanship more than strategic communication. A prime example was the recent weapon recovery at the port, where the operation appeared more like a staged event than a serious law enforcement effort. The inclusion of the K9 officer, Tyson, as a focal point of the operation raised concerns. Tyson, notably, is the same dog that was later poisoned, something that highlights the risk of overexposing sensitive assets. Yes, the public is aware that the police have canine capabilities, but there has never been a need to parade these tools in such a visible manner. The question must be asked, is this exposure truly about transparency, or is it an attempt to impress, perhaps to gain favor from government officials or to secure promotions? It's important to remember that the core of any successful operation lies in the work of the officers on the ground. These are the individuals who conduct the surveillance, plant the intelligence, and carry out the interventions. While leadership plays a role, it is not accurate for the executive to bask in the success of operations in which they had little direct involvement. Crime fighting should be driven by a commitment to public safety, not a desire for recognition, status, or personal achievement or advancement. We must ensure that the focus remains on collective effort and operational integrity, not on performative displays for fame or fortune. Someone sent me this message. That person used to be in law enforcement. It's about time I hear from you at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. And our NewsSpin question of the day. It reads, what say you to Tyson's death? What say you to Tyson's death? And we have lots of comments to that question on our NewsSpin Facebook page. Let me turn my attention to some of your comments. Somebody says there, hi Tim, I'm a dog owner and I tell you of a trained dog. Tyson was a high-profile trained dog, will not eat from anyone, and I say straightforward, that's an inside job. Government of St. Lucia, come out, tell us what happened to Tyson. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Hi, good day, team. How are you doing?
I'm okay, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Team, I must say that over the weekend, I was engaged in the entire weekend. I was watching, just coincidentally, I was watching some undercover smuggling, drug smuggling series on TV, on YouTube. When I was informed that Tyson died, the caller told me Tyson died, you know. And I'm asking, hey, what happened to Met? Thinking it was the boxer.
Mike Tyson.
He tell me, no, man, Tyson the dog. I said, what? That was my response. Now, Tim, I have spoken, I've called you before, we have had that discussion. I, being a former police officer, drug squad officer, I know about the canine unit. I've worked with the dogs, and I know those dogs ain't easy. All right? I don't know Tyson's age. Would you know? Did the clip you played there, did anybody give any information on the dog's age?
No, I think it would have been a little over 1 year old.
That's what I figure. It looked like a fairly young dog.
Yeah.
Tim, in one of the documentaries I watched over the weekend, in a 5-month period at, I think, Gatwick Airport, the dogs were able to seize something like $300 million worth of drugs in 5 months, Tim. So I know the significance of the canine unit. And I must say that a lot is expected of that investigation as it relates to the Tyson's mysterious death. Now, I say mysterious because
do you think we'll get any answers,
it's
Ola?
shock.
Do you think we'll get the answers to those questions?
Well, I'm hoping that we get it, Tim. I'm hoping so because I mean everybody, Tim, and it is strange, you know, it is strange. It is strange. Tim, let me go back. I like to go back every time I call you on those events. At the last bus, when the 40, I think, how many firearms? 40 firearms, 3,000 rounds, something like that.
17. 17.
17 firearms, yes, 17 firearms.
And 3 rounds of ammunition.
3,000.
3,000 rounds, yes. 3,000 rounds of ammunition.
Yes, yes. Tim, I give been very close check on them things. 3,000 rounds. Tim, I found when I saw the information on a WhatsApp message. But the same day I saw it, that's when I saw on the midday news, I saw the arms being portrayed on the. So I'm wondering, but how is that so quick? Why is the police so quick to put that on the media? That was the same week that if you had that call from that gentleman who was dealing with the brokership, I don't want to mention his name, and he asked about why wasn't a control delivery done. You remember?
Yes,
Tim?
I remember, yes.
And I had to try to define what's a control delivery. When I had the same queries, Tim. Why was the police so quick to go on televise that? And the gentleman, when he called, he said, listen, the guys are going to try that again. This time, it wasn't trying it again. This time, mysteriously, Tyson is dead.
And Tyson was involved. Hold on, caller. Tyson was involved in that bust, you know, at the Castries Wharf on the 29th of May.
Tim, but they showed Tyson, you know, in that same clip. They showed him. So when you put one and one together, 1 + 1 + 1 + 1, you ain't getting 2, you know. So, Tim, I am very concerned about what is going on and the lack of answers and explanation for those things. By now, Tim, By now, the news, we should have had a press conference already from the Mr. God. We should have had the authorities come in. Don't let people speculate about those things. Because that's what the Prime Minister wants. Because he said, well, speculate, because he ain't telling you anything. People already had a lot of things saying after that ammunition bust there and no arrest. Tim, I can say a lot more, but on your show, I don't want to hog the line. I can say a lot more, but I'm preparing a special on that Tyson thing. Because I must tell you, I have my own show and I want to present it myself. So I want to thank you for the opportunity. Tim.
You're welcome, sir. All right, you too. Thank you so much. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And I'm sure that in addition to you, caller, the entire nation is looking forward to hearing from the island's police commissioner, hearing from the island's prime minister on this Tyson issue. We have a call. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you?
I'm okay. How about you, sir?
I'm fine. Amanda present?
Yes, she's there.
Amanda, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, caller.
I just heard the voice of my former colleague, which I was part of his training, and a friend of two of his older brothers, who are also policemen who served with me. Today is indeed a sad day to hear the news that Tyson passed. Last night, at approximately 10 p.m., I got a call that Tyson passed. Like my former colleague, I said to myself, what the hell, somebody's calling me to tell me, well, Tyson passed. Thinking it was Mike Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
But when he told me it was Tyson, a lot of things came to my mind. And I said, okay, thanks for the information, and I left it at that. But having heard my former colleague today, there is something I need to say to him that may not go down well with some people. You know, I've been a policeman. I was a policeman for a very long time. I was a firearms expert. I did my training at the Aberdeen Proving Ground in Maryland, USA. I did my training in Fort Lee, Virginia. I did my training in Fort Bragg in North Carolina, and other training around the Caribbean. I was one of the officers who started taking training with the Americans and the British in trade-winning exercises throughout the Caribbean. I trained at the Paragons military camp in Barbados. I trained at Crabs in Antigua, and I've been throughout the Caribbean, in Puerto Rico, as a police officer, doing paramilitary training. Tim, I heard you said something. You said something about someone hinting at the airport or on the wharf at the stage. Is that correct, Tim?
Something being staged?
No, when they discovered the 17 firearms.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about that for a while. I've been part of that organization for a long time, and all firearm cases, including murders and everything, I was the one who used to give evidence in all those cases. But I've been bothered by that bus on the docks. The police have an MO. When there's a bust, like this year, we've had several. I've heard police officers who are not trained, right, to give definite evidence on firearms But I'm sure you can remember we've heard police officers giving evidence as armor-piercing weapons. You've heard that?
Yes.
Been found. Don't you find it strange that 17 weapons were found on the dock and 300 rounds of ammunition?
3,000.
3,000 rounds of ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
And they will not itemize them? That they will not itemize the 17 weapons? They did not say it was 3 AR-15s, 4 M16s, 9mm Glock pistols, 5 380 rounds of 5 380 caliber pistols, 500 rounds of 5.56 ammunition, 500 rounds of 7.2 ammunition, 1,000 rounds of 5.56 ammunition, 1,000 rounds of 380 ammunition. Don't you find that very, very strange, Jim?
Now that you've brought up the point, yes, I found it strange.
They were not itemized, right? And they swayed from their norm. So when people are talking about a staged bust, that veered away from the norm that I knew. When such busts are made, the police and customs lie low, like my custom broker friend that was mentioned by my former colleague.
Yeah.
The police lay in wait for somebody to come and clear whether it's boxes or barrels to nab them. But that wasn't done. It was a public stunting. Now, I don't want anybody to say that I'm accusing the police of any staging. But it's just that I feel that they veered away from the norm this year. 17 weapons, one of the biggest busts ever. And we do not know what types of ammunition were found, how many armor-piercing rounds. For the first time, I heard the police mentioning armor-piercing rounds. From somebody who don't know the hell about armor-piercing rounds. Because team a .56, 7.562, 7.62 or 5.56 round could have a red tip and just a tracer round. It takes an expert to determine that it's an armor-piercing round. You know what I'm saying, Tim?
Yeah.
And the police don't reveal, are not supposed to reveal such information. You understand? Because when you do that, you are implying that there might be armor-piercing rounds in the hands of other criminals out there. And isn't that a fearful thing to think about, Tim?
Absolutely, sir.
But, Tim, we had a dog once on our station called Satan. We used to take so much care of it, Tim, that we used to bathe it with Courvoisier and cognac. That's when Philip C. was commissioner. We had 3 handlers.
For the one dog.
There were 2, but Satan was the main dog. And it wasn't imported. We bought it from Mr. Jose Michel as a pup. Those dogs were so well taken care of him. They had a canteen book. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
To feed them, you had to take credit. The commissioner authorized that whatever you're going to feed them with, you can take it from the canteen. And for a dog to be carelessly, I don't want to jump the gun Tim and say that it was poison. I await to hear the results of the investigation.
But we hope the wait, sir, will not be in vain, because we know what the tradition is like in St. Lucia. When things of that nature occur, they normally talk of having a thorough investigation, and a thorough investigation would basically transform into no investigation and no report revealing what came out of that particular probe. And we forget about it. It becomes just a footnote of our history.
Can I give you a short answer, Tim?
Yes, sir.
That's not your business. Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much for calling, sir. Very enlightening contribution. 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Good afternoon to you, Amanda. Let's find out what is happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon, NewsSpinners. Tim, a comment here reads, we want to know the real truth about what happened to Tyson. Someone says there, when Tyson was just chilling, he was safe for over a year. As soon as he did his job, caught some drugs, he is dead. R.I.P. Tyson. A NewsSpinner says there, I smell a rat. The French authority is very disappointed. Another commentary reads, did St. Lucians ever believe that this canine dog would be protected? When on the first month of Philip Pierre and Ernest Hill assuming office, they discontinued the services of the previous dogs. Someone says there last Wednesday, and all they were telling us about was Tinubu. Another commentary reads, a good case for the special prosecutor to investigate. A NewsSpinner says there, the French should ask for Tyson's remains and do their own autopsy. Another commentary says, so if Tyson died on Wednesday, June 25th, 2025, why wasn't there an official statement by the people in charge of national security? A commentary reads, Tyson is not just a dog, he was a police officer. Someone says there, St. Lucia finish in Rick's voice. No working scanners and a dead canine. The criminal underworld seems to be running the country. Another commentary reads, scanners were downed, the dismantled based on statistics, and now Tyson is no more. I think we can conclude some people in power do not want proper drug screening measures in place. Someone says there, some say that the post-mortem hasn't been conducted, maybe died from malnutrition since cost was a critical aspect in the decision making. Just so very unfortunate and sad, the dog worked so well. Someone says there, this has serious international implications. Unless St. Lucia learned the hard way, they will not pay attention to these ills in our society. Another commentary reads, oh my gosh, this is heartbreaking. From what I know of these dogs, they are so well trained that they don't eat from anyone or from the ground. That's from their basic training. So how did he eat rat food? Someone says there, what immediate steps are being taken by the RSLPF to prevent a similar tragedy from happening again? Who is being held accountable within the force? Will there be transparency in the handling of matter to restore public trust? Someone says there, has the Royal St. Lucia Police Force identified how the rat poison was introduced? Is there an indication of foul play or negligence?
Okay, thanks so much, Amanda. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, team.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Amanda.
Good afternoon, caller.
Tim, something is very strange. You remember the scanner on the wharf? It was alleged that water was poured in the scanner, right?
Yes.
Right. So on the wharf have no cameras, nothing to see who poured the water in the water in the scanner. There was no investigation, nothing conducted. Now Tyson is dead. He ate poison. These dogs are supposed to be handled by their handlers, supposed to be with them. They're even supposed to be living with their handlers. Well kept. Where did Tyson get the rat poison, team? Where did the dog get the rat poison? Team, St. Lucia is not a real place. Everything is just a mystery. And then, Tyson, since sometime last week, Tyson died. Only over the weekend, maybe somebody leaked it. There's no press release, nothing from the police, from the government, from nobody. You remember all the hula-hoo the ministers made for the $40,000 that to take care of the dogs?
Yes.
A lot of the ministers were not in favor of them dogs. Even the police themselves, because we have to admit we have a lot of corrupt police.
No, I don't think we have any evidence of the police saying that they wanted the canine unit to be disbanded.
No, I never said the police. I said ministers.
Okay.
Ministers. Because I remember the police commissioner at the time was very adamant. He was calling for the reinstatement of the canine unit. Remember that, Mr. Daisy?
Yes.
And Mr. Pierre and Mr. Hill and the others were just around the bush, so much money to take care of dogs and everything. Now that the French donated a dog, they didn't have to pay just to maintain the dog, take care of the dog. The dog is dead, team. St. Lucian, what is happening in a small country? Too much corruption, too much. Oh, let me tell you, that dog didn't just die, team. The scanner, they didn't just pour water in that scanner, And it's not being done by me or you or any ordinary person, you know. It's being done by people involved that are involved in the fighting the crime, people that are involved. It's not being done by neither me or you or one of the little ordinary workers at the wharf or anything like that. You understand? I don't understand. Tim, I am so baffled. I don't know what to say. And up to now, since last week that dog died, we haven't heard anything from nobody. And this morning I heard a press release talking about how much crime has lessened the period from last year to this year and all kind of nonsense. I think they had a murder last night in Soufre, one in how they call it?
We had at least 3 homicides occurring over the weekend. You had 2 on Friday in Dennery and Moshi, and 1 occurring last night in Soufre. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that, Tim, why should the police always, I don't know if it's the minister, whatever his name is, Jeremiah, that's pushing them to make these press releases about crime gone down and crime gone down. Where the crime going down? 3 murders for the weekend. Look, Tyson die. Where the crime going down? So they're supposed to have another dog right now, Tim?
Yes, they have another dog. The French gave them another dog in April of this year.
All right.
And
so
I am afraid. I'm afraid for its well-being.
Yes, I am. I want to see what will happen to that dog. It's a bloody shame that a small country like St. Lucia has so much corruption. We bring in a Nigerian president that mock out of the people in his country, touching the royals and all kind of things he's doing. And that's the example we bring into St. Lucia.
They are accusing him of corruption, okay?
They're accusing him? Tim, there's a lot of evidence on that man, you know.
Caller, we cannot say in Castries. No. We cannot say in Castries and say that about Nigeria. Okay, so what we have to say, caller, is that is what is being alleged, where the president of Nigeria is concerned. Okay? No. Have that conversation with your friend on the phone.
Okay,
it's okay.
Right, okay.
It can't happen on NewsSpin.
Right. Okay, Tim.
Thank you so much.
What you're saying.
All right.
Okay, just now 1 minute. One more thing.
Go ahead.
I was talking to a friend of mine in London. He has a Nigerian friend. He let me speak to the girl, and the girl said, you hear me? She don't know what is happening in St. Lucia. She's never been to St. Lucia, but she wants to know why is that man of all they want to bring, why they didn't bring Ibrahim, whatever his name is, instead of that man. Okay? A Nigerian woman is saying that. So at the end of the day, where we're going is a very, 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 very sad place, Tim. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for calling. We have to be very careful. The program is being monitored around the world, and I'm sure Tinubu might be listening to the broadcast as we speak. Let us listen to Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre speaking in January of 2024 on this whole disbandment of the K9 unit.
Commissioner has made a plea for the establishment of the K9 unit. We had some operations, the police had some operations late last year that involved using the K9 unit. We are actively involved in these discussions. But as I said, I mean, this is not as simple. You need trainers, you need this. It's not as, I mean, it's like very simple K9 unit, but it has very many things. Surprisingly, many things you have to go through to get a K9 unit going. But we are working on it, and we'll make an announcement as to when and if we're going to have a K9 unit in St. Lucia. But we continue to seek use of dogs from our friendly neighbors. The French, the Americans assist us when in their service the use of dogs, but we are considering actively a K9 unit.
You said you have to train officers. Wasn't there one K9 unit before?
Yes, there was, but you know, as most things, you know, and you know, I always tell you, I'm not in a position to opine on police operations, and I insist in that position. I can't opine on police operations. I'm not a police officer. My father was, not one. So in terms of the training that is necessary, I have to go strictly on the advice of the police professionals, commissioner and the staff. What I know is the commissioner has asked for a K9 unit. We're going to have these discussions, and I will tell her the resources that are available if they become available, And for the details on training and the logistics, that'll be up to her. That's her job. She is the commissioner of police. She's a professional who has the responsibility for ensuring that law enforcement happens.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre speaking in January of 2024 on the K9 unit. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Still to come. More of your calls as well as your comments in the WhatsApp, in the Facebook page. We'll be going through those comments. And of course, I'll be going through your various contributions in just a bit. Stay with us.
Carnival just got crunchier with KFC. It's time to fet, win, and feast with the Carnival Crunch Box. For just $30, get a Big Crunch or Zinger sandwich, 3 crunchy strips, a dipping sauce, regular fries, a 16-ounce soda, and a biscuit. But wait, that's not all. Every Carnival Crunch Box gives you a chance to win big. Promotion runs June 1st to July 20th. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Do whatever that crunch you want. Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilec aveti ou pour point précaution durant saison cyclone Salah. Mi an ti commission qui kaywen de ou protéger la vie ou ek propriétaire ou. Kouye Lucilec avant ou trim et ben couper pied bois qui poué ligne électrique. Veillez pour ligne courant électrique avant ou monter l'échelle. Fait assurer l'échelle, scaffold, bout zouti ou ka servi, pas vini moins qui 10 pieds hors ligne courant électrique. Pas jamais servi appliance et ben outils qui ka servi courant électrique. Des wall côté qui mouillé et ben en la pli. Ça c'était en commission hors Lucilec.
Need more days of savings? MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt Super Saturday of Savings has just been extended to Sunday. Take advantage of amazing deals. This weekend, MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt are offering you amazing discounts on items. MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt Super Saturday of Savings has been extended to Sunday. Don't miss out on the incredible discounts and deals. See in-store, Facebook, or www.mnchomedepot.com for more details. Terms and conditions may apply. Better value for better.
Flo's prepaid customers can now unlock big bonus rewards like bonus data, prizes, and more every time you activate a 3-day prepaid plan or launcher. Activate a plan, then scratch to reveal your bonus data. Plus, get points for extra prizes. The more you activate, the more bonus data and prizes you can win. Get in on the big bonus rewards when you activate a prepaid plan. Dial *129# or visit topupflow.com to activate a plan today.
Discover the future of body imaging innovation at La Clinique du Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence, where the gold standard in MRI technology meets unparalleled medical expertise. The intricate neural pathways of the brain to the delicate structures of the spine, and from the vital functions of the heart to detailed multi-parametric MRI of the prostate, our higher resolution images see the unseen from head to toe. Our radiation-free Signa Prime Tesla 1.5 MRI machine is assisted by artificial intelligence, enhancing its precision in creating quality images for our trained radiologists to give you more accurate readings. Our facility ensures fast access to specialist doctors, including pain management, rheumatology, and family medicine. Proudly serving as a world-class facility in the OECS, we bring international standards of healthcare within your reach. There is no longer a need to travel overseas for superior medical services. Experience the pinnacle of diagnostic precision and patient care right here in St. Lucia. Schedule your MRI with La Clinique du Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence located in Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-6559 for your appointment. For your peace of mind, ask about our flexible financing options, including our copay system for clients with health care.
Don't tell me that tire flat again. I just changed that tire.
Wait, what? You just changed that tire?
Well, I bought a used one because you didn't give me enough money.
Oh, I see. Well, you know what? Chivi's Tire Shop only carry brand new quality tires at affordable prices with free installation.
Hey, it seems you're working at Chivi's Tire Shop. How you know all that?
Come on, Brenda. The tire shop down the road from our home in the American Drywall Building.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Well, you know what, Patrick? Let's go there right now. Take your wallet. Let's go.
Chivi's Tire Shop, located at the American Drywall Building, Vic Bouteille. Call or WhatsApp 584-5986. Chivi's Tire Shop. Pay less, drive more.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
This is the most monitored doctrine in the world. It is called NewsSpin. WhatsApp message. Prime Minister Pierre wanted the big boy spot and now he got it to satisfy his ego. I'm convinced that this guy is unfit to be a prime minister that will bring something different to this country. You're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, adding up to millions in vehicles and bikes. That money could have been used for the K9 unit. Health and Security levy, they say any right-thinking individual would allocate money from this levy to the K9 unit. Who are you fooling? Common sense outweighs a PhD or master's. LOL. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Okay, there, what somebody is saying via WhatsApp. Somebody says there, good day, Tim. The Prime Minister never seems to know anything about what's going on in his country. First, it was tourism. He never knew it was so important. And look, we're hearing he's surprised on the process with the K9 unit. What are we doing with someone like this in the leadership of our country? We finish, Tim. And another WhatsApp message, trying to go through as many of them as possible. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, we have a prime minister that never knows anything, so don't expect answers from him. We have a WhatsApp message. Wow, after suffering major setbacks from the last few drugs and gun busts, largely as a result of Tyson's sniffing prowess, it seems that a local crime syndicate has struck back in a deadly manner. If the cause of death is indeed poisoning, then this would most likely require the willful assistance of Tyson's handlers or those responsible for his nutrition. In a similar manner, we seem unable to maintain the services of functioning scanning machines at our ports. Is this due to technical malfunction or deliberate sabotage paid for by those who are most inconvenienced? Is there a part in here with the security measures at our border? Tyson's sudden death, as well as these suspicious disruptions to the services of our scanning equipment, warrant an immediate and independent investigation. To begin with, the benefactor of Tyson to St. Lucia, Martinique, will certainly warrant answers, and those who are found to be culpable or negligent need to be held accountable. Heads will have to roll in honor of Tyson for his dedicated service to St. Lucia, which no doubt saved the lives of many would-be victims to gun crime. And 4522979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon, caller.
Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Tim, after I heard of this bus due to Tyson, I pinged a friend of mine and I told him that dog will soon be history.
Wow.
And when I called him Saturday and I told him Tyson has passed, he was surprised. He told me, you serious? I tell him, yes. Tim, this country is rotten to the core. It may not be all of us, but a good few of us know what is going on in this place. Do you remember that drug bust in Meekwood?
Yeah.
Have you heard anything after that? All you heard that 2 guys were arrested.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if they were. We don't know if they were brought to court. If they're on $5 bail.
I think one guy got bail. I don't know about 2, but I think one guy got bail.
You know, things. This place, when you have shady characters being awarded multi-million-dollar contracts, government contracts, then that begs the question: what is going on in this place? What is going on in this place? Tim, you see that Tyson thing? We need outside assistance to investigate that. Okay? And these dogs are properly trained. These dogs don't eat from anybody. And if it's rat poison, Tyson was just not giving rat poison eat. It was maybe testing his food. Something needs to be done. This place is rotten to the core. We need to do something. Something has to happen. Some outside, even the French have to come and investigate because it's their property. It's their dog. They gave it to us. Something has to be done. That cannot allow to continue. Something has to be done, Tim. It cannot be business as usual. If not, that will just be swept under the carpet because up to now we don't know nothing happened to the container of drugs found by courts. Tim, and on the lighter side, since Tyson is gone, we might have to get Evander Holyfield. Since Mike Tyson is gone, we'll have to get Evander Holyfield to replace him. Have a blessed day.
All right. Thank you so much. I think Tyson, for me, is more of a gifted boxer, more talented boxer than Evander Holyfield. So I don't know what you're talking about. So maybe down the line, if we have another dog and we call that dog Evander Holyfield, then definitely it will lose its life as well. We have another call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon, Tim.
I don't see Amanda is there, but you can tell her I said hello. She's been doing a good job.
Amanda's there, yes. Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, Tim. I've been listening since they had all this news breaking about the president from Nigeria coming in here. I listened to all your callers. I read all the comments. I've been reading comments from Facebook and other social media. Tim, you know what has astounded me? Is that I cannot believe, Tim, that our people, instead of focusing on the information, especially the information they got from Rick, and listening to you and listening to other callers saying about what's on Facebook. I mean, not on Facebook, on social media about the president and the issues that are going on in his country. Tim, I'm not saying that you can take something when somebody's not convicted. It is only alleged. It's allegations without facts. But, you know, if someone came to you and tell you, Tim, that Jocelyn is suspected of being a criminal, you'd be wary. You'd be watchful of having me coming by you. Instead of St. Lucians questioning this, not questioning, but asking, you know what they focus on? They behave as if we are, St. Lucia is Africa and Rat Islet is St. Lucia. So we are, all they tell you is the persons who dare question the presence of the Nigerian president here, why he is here, what is the purpose and the need at this time, why the holiday. Instead of they discuss that, you know what they're talking about? You all hate black. You all hate your black self. It's slavery you're thinking about. You all like the white man you all have in St. Lucia. And you all don't like the black people. And you all don't like yourselves. Where did this come from? Where did our people descend to that level? That we people in a Caribbean island behave that if other St. Lucians like yourself asking concrete questions about a situation where they're right as St. Lucians to know, all you all can go back on is this racist thing, is this division, this divisiveness in this country, this hatred. And Tim, I kid you not, St. Lucia has a country of hatred. Hatred amongst its own citizens. They hate you, you tall. They hate you, you skinny. They hate you, you short. They hate you, your nose big. They hate you because you white, even if you're not white. Even if you can be said a million times, I am mixed, like all St. Lucians are mixed race. They still go on and on because this government has developed a culture of hatred in this country. And this is what is going on right now. The people are focusing on black royalty. You all don't like black. You all this, you all that, because you dare to speak, and they criticize you to the bone. They cut you. And the amount of blows I see them giving to on social media to the SLP pages about what you and Rick and others like you all have said. My goodness, no more independent thought in this country. No more questioning. No more thinking. Everything is being controlled. It's a narrative that must be promoted. And I'm saying to St. Lucians, you all need to pray. You all need to clear yourselves from this, or we are heading, Tim. We are heading on a trajectory of no return. If we don't harness ourselves quickly and open our eyes and watch the wickedness that's going on in this land, it is not good, Tim. It is not good. And I say, pray for our St. Lucia, because Lord have mercy, if we cannot even think for ourselves or even to question, and that we can sink to the level, to this division of fighting and cutting each other up on something that makes absolutely no sense, that's baseless, because none of us in this country who were born in St. Lucia, unless you were born from pure Caucasian parents, are pure black or pure white, or pure Indian. We are mixed, and we are trying to create a St. Lucia where what we are is embraced, harnessed, and used for the benefit and the development of this beautiful isle. Instead, look at how this division, this hate, this nastiness is going on in this country, Tom. Tim, I'm shocked. I'm really shocked at our people. Thank you, Tim, for hearing me.
Thank you
Good
so much.
afternoon
Yes.
to you and your
Same to you, ma'am. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says they're very dangerous. The dog, the scanners, head of all those departments throughout a case. And let's see there if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, we the people need a formal report on Officer Tyson. Who were the last persons to feed him? Who walked him last? Where was his body found? Time of death? What type of poison was found in his blood? Also, are we having a state funeral? In Officer Tyson's short work life, he has done more work than a lot of these officers out there. We want justice for Officer Tyson. Another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, bless. They killed that dog, bro. And some more of your messages to go through. Okay, let's take a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon to you, ma'am. You are on the air.
Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon, Amanda.
Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon.
Timothy, this last bit of news we heard about the police found, what they intercepted, I think that's more disturbing than probably people are actually thinking. Because it doesn't make sense to me that time and time again, we talk about shipments of drugs, shipments of guns that the police recover, but we're never told anything about a body, a person, someone that they've arrested, that they plan on prosecuting quickly, hastily. They never say anything about that. Now, this time around, they're telling us they recovered guns, and the weapons that I hear they recover, I'm asking myself, are we having a mini war, or is this just transshipment? Because if the police do not plan on telling us about a body, about somebody that they've arrested, then they need to keep that kind of information to themselves. You haven't found anyone yet. You've intercepted disturbing amounts of ammunition and weapons. Piercing a vest? Really? You have to ask yourself, why the heck are you telling us about that? You should be doing something to find the people who bringing it in. That's what you need to do. That's your intelligence. That's not for us. So if somebody thought that by giving us that information, they were getting a flex, this was not a flex. This was not a, Ray, look what we did. We're doing well. This was a fail. And where is the Minister of Security? Because if you recover that kind of ammunition and its destination is here, then we have a problem, and you need to do something about, at the very least, finding its source, stopping it. If it was on its way somewhere, heck, let it go. Don't bother us and put people in angst because now they're worried about that kind of weapon is out there. Police officers trigger happy because they don't know if the fellas on the block are the ones carrying it. So now they're shooting up the place. We can't do that to the nation. We cannot do that to people. Somebody needs to learn how to do their work because the work is not getting done. And I think the Prime Minister has to take responsibility for a lot of this because he is not affording the leadership that he needs to afford. You need to call your Minister of Security up on this and, hey, listen, yo, man, what's going on?
But call it the Prime Minister is the National Security Minister as well, huh?
Well, that makes it even worse. That I thought he was, but that makes it even worse. But we need to start running this country like a country. This is 180,000 people. Like, that's the size of my block in New York City. Come on, we act like we can't manage this little country. These fellas need to stop playing, man. Thanks, Timothy.
Thank you so much. Somebody says there on YouTube, Tim, we need the Montet Road fixed. And Montet is located in Shrewsbury. Let's take another call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello. Good afternoon. You are on the air. All right, let's turn our attention to Amanda. Amanda, let's find out what is happening in the chat room.
Tim comments from earlier on NewsSpin says here, how can the French trust that the second dog will be properly cared for and protected under the current system? Another commentary reads, in the USA, the canine unit is just as important as the police officers and would get the same treatment as a dead police officer. So Tyson died, and I'm assuming he was discarded. No procession, no nothing. A NewsSpinner says there, from day one, I've been saying that the murder rate has been staged. If we as a people were not stupid, we would see what God has been showing us. For the past 4 years, the murder rate has been kept at 75. Don't we see that's a problem right there? Another commentary reads, Tyson is dead, so it's safe to assume more containers like the one missing from courts will make it to their intended destination. Someone says here, if I were the French, these concerns would weigh heavily before sending another dog to serve. The safety of these animals and the integrity of the partnership demand nothing less than full accountability and reform. Another commentary reads, he was dead before the visit. That dog was supposed to be at the airport, sniffing everything, including the president entering our country. A NewsSpinner says there we will not get any answers or any press briefing on what happened to Tyson because our crime prevention minister and security minister is busy with the Nigerian president. Another commentary reads, I do not think all police officers are bad. However, the situation has further defiled their reputation. A commentary reads, if the government can't even protect a police dog from rat poison, how are they protecting the people? Should we start handing out helmets to citizens? Someone says there, Tim, the French will undoubtedly view the death of canine Tyson with grave concern. This is not simply the loss of an animal, but the loss of a trained officer committed to law enforcement and public safety. They will expect a thorough investigation and full accountability from the St. Lucia Police Force. A commentary from Peter Chico reads, Tim, this has been my concern over my tenure as a special operations officer in the law enforcement field. During the period, much drugs and guns were intercepted, and we always thought it was ill-advised to publicize the activities and assets involved. Tim, I work with canine units in Barbados, Canada, St. Lucia, Grenada, and knew what the strength of these canines were. The disbanding of the unit by the government was damning, even when advised to maintain the unit. Now the death of Tyson will invoke some serious conversations by all. Someone says their Prime Minister is busy enjoying his fufu, pounded yam, egusi. Tyson isn't going to be his priority. Don't bother expecting any updates anytime soon. Another comment reads, Tyson's death is more than an accident. It's a reflection of a deeper problem. What kind of systems are in place to protect who's being held accountable, the silent homes? What else is being screwed up that we don't yet know about? Someone says it also crossed to my mind that it looked staged, but it was just an inner feeling I had. I have no police training except for watching crime shows. Someone says this isn't just a police matter, it's a national concern. The loss of Tyson exposes serious gaps in leadership, training and oversight at a time when St. Lucia needs every resource available to combat crime and protect its citizens. Another commentary reads, Calypsonians, please write a song in memory of Tyson, since you all do not want to criticize this government.
Thank you so much, Amanda. We have some more updates coming up. Somebody says that via WhatsApp, growing up listening to Calypsos in St. Lucia, I recalled that Calypsonians used their art to challenge or provide commentary on the government of the day. They represented the voices of the voiceless, the plight of the dispossessed, and challenged government to do better. I was so shocked listening to semi-finals last night and hearing Calypsonians giving blows to the opposition and overly supporting of the government. It is as if our government is perfect. It was quite jarring for me. Our Calypsonians have done a complete 360. What is going on? That was a WhatsApp message. We have another WhatsApp message, and it reads there, Tim, we had a shooting of a young man in Sufre last night. 3 dead within a week, and the government says nothing. And they are embracing the Nigerian president. Putting people first, they say. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says that Tim, Shazi knows what happened with Tyson. Why is he taking so long to explain to the public? I'm not certain that he knows. Another comment, somebody says that maybe Countryman can tell us how Tyson died and who was involved. And more comments. May Tyson, our canine hero, rest in peace. I believe the poisoning of Tyson highlights the urgent need for certified professional dog trainers in the police force with expertise in canine work who can help protect and develop these valuable animals. Let's see if we have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim. Hope you have a good day. Good afternoon, Tim. Hope you're having a good day.
A great day so far, ma'am. Good afternoon to you. And this is not
And
Nigel.
good afternoon, Amanda.
Good afternoon, caller.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So, what was the dog's name? I'm sorry. I just forgot. Tyson, right?
Tyson, yes, Tyson.
Yes. So the death of Tyson is not simply an old dog. He was a police officer, no?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So how is that the state is not investigating this as a death of a police officer? It's not where he was injured with a civilian, but no one knows. That should be like top priority. Okay? It just shows the incompetence in governance and everything. Let's go down the line, right? So many cold cases is still pending. The DDP has not given an official reason to date. Kimberly DeLeon, this young woman, died, I believe it was a police officer, her husband.
No. Let's put it this way. She was murdered in her home, and the matter is under investigation, and so far no one has been arrested in connection with that crime. Yes, so we don't know.
Okay. Okay, so we don't know. Well, we'll move on. Shakaden Daniel, he was deceased in the hands of, we don't know, but in
the
while
he was in the care of the
custody
police.
of police.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Young Arnold, I believe there was a shootout.
Yes.
And he was okay. He's deceased, and those cases has gone cold. It's been years, right? No explanation has been given. No one is officially investigating. You guys don't have a name of someone investigating those cases. In the case of the Jamaican man that escaped from the police custody, how could someone be in your custody and escape and move to another country? Has to be someone inside. I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. All of these incompetence, the state has not given any reason why as to why it is taking so long to have an answer. Okay, I believe Mr. Chakaden Daniel's father was the only one really pushing, and unfortunately he passed away. All of these cases, it's a shame. Mr. Pierre, only his explanation has to, I'm not a police officer. Well, sir, you are the head of office, and you should be the one to guide and protect all St. Lucians, not some. All you have to make sure that your citizen is safe, whether it's in the hands of a police officer or other civilians. It shows poor quality in his judgment. I'm sorry, I'm just really upset. This dog was just not a old dog, but also a police officer. So what is Mr. Pierre going to do about it? Thank you so much, Tim.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for calling. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Still to come. Some more calls, WhatsApp messages, the discussion, and of course, we'll have an update from Amanda regarding some of the comments you are making in the chat room.
Mark your calendars for July 30th and 31st. It's 2 days of sizzling savings you don't want to miss. Your day is coming to Europa Hardware. Get 15% off all your favorite cashier gear. Wet and dry vacuum cleaners, powerful pressure washers, gas or electric, upholstery cleaners, and steam cleaners that make grime run for cover. Swing by Europa Hardware and score 15% discount during the Cashier Day promotion. Remember, it's July 30th and 31st. Write it down, set a reminder, tell a friend to tell a friend. Don't wait, don't miss out. Call us at 452-0763. Europa Hardware in Massad Groselane. We serve what we sell.
Prepare for the hurricane season by ensuring trees and other objects on your property won't get tangled in overhead wires. Be careful. Ensure ladders and tools don't come within 10 feet of power lines. If a tree is near electrical lines, don't try to trim it yourself. Contact Lucelec at 452-2165 or 454-6617. Be smart, stay safe.
At First National Bank, we believe being first means putting you first. Your first home, we've got the mortgage. Starting your first business, count on our commercial loans. Dreaming of your first car? Drive it home today. Heading to college? Let's fund that first big step with a student loan. No matter the milestone, make First National Bank your first choice for all your loan needs. First and trust first for you. Call us at 455-7000 or visit your nearest First National Bank branch today so we can help put you first. First National Bank, here for you.
It's in the feeling in our weak side. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are.
This one's just for you. Get ready for the KFC Karama happening Saturday, June 28th from 12 to 6 p.m. at Serenity Park. It's a full day of teen talent on display. Junior, soca, and calypso artists, kiddie carnival bands, fashion, drama, again, non-stop vibes. Come out and let's have some good, clean fun. No alcohol, just finger-licking goodness. So tell a friend, grab your crew, pull up to KFC Teen Sokarama. See you there.
I in a good spirit. I drink in a good
St.
spirit.
Lucia, are you ready for the ultimate all-inclusive?
Chalet Blanc, the all-white event. Tier 1 now available at Frontline Ticketing, Eventbrite, Digicel Baywalk Mall, 4 Circles Ticketing, or WhatsApp at 240-344-8629. A musical journey curated by the best local and international DJs. St. Lucia Carnival Saturday, July 19th, 1 p.m. to 8 p.m.
At Sanders Golf and Country Club, Kappa State.
Look something to talk about.
Unlimited drinks, brunch buffet, top-class entertainment.
Stay tuned. This event is powered by One Golden Fox and Natalie Events.
Discover of body imaging innovation at La Clinique de Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence, where the gold standard in MRI technology meets unparalleled medical expertise. From the intricate neural pathways of the brain to the delicate structures of the spine, and from the vital functions of the heart to detailed multi-parametric MRI of the prostate, our higher resolution images see the unseen from head to toe. Our radiation-free Signa Prime Tesla 1.5 MRI machine is assisted by artificial intelligence, enhancing its precision in creating quality images for our trained radiologists to give you more accurate readings. Our facility ensures fast access to specialist doctors, including pain management, rheumatology, and family medicine. Proudly serving as a world-class facility in the OECS, we bring international standards of healthcare within your reach. There is no longer a need to travel overseas for superior medical services. Pinnacle of diagnostic precision and patient care right here in St. Lucia. Schedule your MRI with La Clinique de Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence located in Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-6559 for your appointment. For your peace of mind, ask about our flexible financing options, including our copay system for clients with health care.
Looking for amazing deals on tiles? Mark your calendars. Every last day of the month, the Tile Gallery is offering up to 50% off on selected tiles. Whether you are renovating your kitchen, updating your bathroom, or giving your entire home a fresh new look, now is the time to transform your space and save big. Enjoy up to 50% off on selected tiles. Don't miss this incredible opportunity to upgrade your home without breaking the bank. Visit M&C Home Depot and Sunbelt locations for more details. Terms and conditions apply.
Cricket fans, get ready for non-stop cricket action. The St. Lucia National Cricket Association Dream St. Lucia Blast T10 tournament is back, bringing the fire and excitement of fast-paced cricket at the Grosley Mini Stadium. It's 15 days of exciting, exhilarating cricket with electrifying T10 cricket battles from June 24th to July 8th. First match starts at 12 noon and 2:30 p.m. for second match of the day. Come see some of the island's best cricketing talent as they go head-to-head in this fast-paced format that promises to rain sixes, wickets, and nail-biting finishes. Mark your calendars. June 24th to July 8th at the Grosley Mini Stadium. The St. Lucia T10 Blast, where legends are made and dreams come alive. Let the blast begin.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It's called NewsSpin. Somebody says via WhatsApp, Tim, the opposition to the K9 unit is part of the SLP's opposition to everything that was done by the Alan Chastney-led administration for the sake and part of their hate agenda, even if it was not in the best interest of St. Lucia. The disbanding of the K9 unit clearly shows that they are putting their political vendetta ahead of the island's border security. This is the same reason for stopping the Grosley Road, the airport, St. Jude's, and doing GPH instead of the home porting deal in VA4. And somebody just sent me a poem, and that is in memory of Tyson. Heroes, it says there, Heroes Pause in memory of K9 Tyson. While silent steps and steady gaze You walked the line through long, hard days. A true partner, both fierce and kind, a braver soul will never find. You wore no armor, bore no shield, yet faced the dangers of the field. With every bark you made it clear, the ones you loved had none to fear. Through the darkest nights and brightest calls, you stood your ground when duty called. No medals needed, none to grant, just one proud touch of your handler's hand. No doggy heaven's gates have opened wide, and doggy angels wait there by your side. Run free, dear Tyson, chase the wind. Your watch is done, your soul has sinned. No longer leashed, no more commands, just open fields and gentle hands. A hero's rest is yours to keep, while we stand here and softly weep. You are our pride, our loyal friend. Your courage lives beyond the end. And though our hearts are marked with pain, we choose you, Tyson, once again. Tribute to our canine hero, Tyson, who passed away in the wee hours of Wednesday last week. We hope we'll not hear the last of this incident, and we will hear from those who are in authority, the police commissioner. We will hear from the Prime Minister, who incidentally is also the minister with responsibility for national security. In response to the poem I just read, somebody says there, Monsieur Tim, your fans not easy. A poem on demand for Tyson. And I'll be sharing this with a number of people. I think it's worth reading over the next few days and weeks in St. Lucia. We need to keep the focus on Tyson, the death, and hope that a thing of that nature never happens again to any law enforcement personnel, whether it's a human being or whether it is a dog. And we should really get serious about life in St. Lucia in terms of fighting crime and ensuring that we are professional in our endeavors. We certainly should not allow Tyson's death to be in vain. Politicians are quick to tell you, I'm not a policeman. But they are the ones who are deciding whether we have a canine unit or not. This is very confusing. You are the one who is deciding that whether we should have a canine unit or not. It is too costly. It is $40,000 a month. Then you have a situation where the canine unit disbanded over a few years, I think about 2 years. Then we have another effort being made to set up a canine unit on the island. And the evidence is there. It was badly managed and handled, which resulted in the death of that canine. We'll hear from the president of Nigeria in just a moment, and also our own Prime Minister, Mr. Philip J. Pierre. But first, our NewsSpin news of the day. The NewsSpin news of the day reads, new technology allows menstrual pads to screen for cervical cancer. New technology allows menstrual pads to screen for cervical cancer. Our NewsSpin news of the day. And now, let's hear from our visiting president of Nigeria, Tinubu, speaking earlier today during a joint sitting of the island's parliament.
Together, we can leverage our respective strengths to attract investments, create jobs, and foster joint ventures that benefit both our peoples. In advancing our shared development goals, I strongly advocate for educational exchange programs between Nigeria and OECS. Maritime universities, such as partnerships, will build technical capacity, but also foster mutual understanding and long-term academic collaboration. Beyond maritime education, both regions should explore joint scientific research initiatives, particularly in addressing common health challenges. To give structure to these efforts, we should formalize agreements that clearly define areas of cooperation in education and research. Equally important is collaboration in tackling urgent threats posed by climate change. By sharing research findings on a climate impact, adaptation strategies, and disaster risk management, including rise in the sea level and outbreak of hurricane, we can deepen our understanding and enhance collective resilience. Joint efforts in promoting sustainable agricultural practices and addressing issues such as flooding and drought will also contribute to food security and reduce climate vulnerability in both our regions.
We have to ask ourselves why we have not had a more impressive record of Africa-Caribbean cooperation. Indeed, Mr. President, it was not until 2021 that the first Africa-CARICOM summit was held, almost 70 years after the independence of Ghana and 61 years after the independence of Nigeria. However, Mr. President, I'm pleased that following this first summit in 2021, we have committed ourselves to deeper relations and that we are committed to meet for the second summit in Addis Ababa in September of this year. St. Lucia looks forward to working with Nigeria at the Africa-CARICOM summit level as we work towards the joint development of our respective nations. Mr. President, the areas for our continued and future cooperation remain wide, varied, and fruitful. We are a small island state with tourism as our main economic driver. Currently, St. Lucia hosts over 1 million tourists annually. However, we have very few Nigerian visitors. We would like to host far more Nigerian visitors and hope that the time when Nigerians discover the hospitality of St. Lucia is very near. However, there are currently no direct flights connecting Nigeria and the Caribbean. Establishing an airlink would do much for St. Lucia's tourism and the wider Caribbean. St. Lucia would gladly be a facilitator if such a venture were to be economically viable. This connectivity will not only boost tourism, but also enhance trade, investment, and to deepen the people-to-people exchanges and the cultural links between our populations. Mr. President, our peoples have never waited on the government to reach to Africa. Decades ago, Caribbean reggae artists like Garnet Silk made it their business to compose music which wrote letters of longing saying hello to Mama Africa. And Bob Marley sang the Pan-African song that called for Africa to unite. Today, the young people of St. Lucia have rediscovered Afrobeats and Nigerian Nollywood films as the new vehicle for which they have reconnected to the African continent. Our appreciation of Nigerian musical taste and talent is deep, lasting, and strong. Only last year, Nigerian stars like Roa performed at the St. Lucia Jazz Festival, joined the ranks of previous Nigerian artists who have thrilled local and Caribbean audiences. And Mr. President, let me invite you to St. Lucia's next Jazz Festival. The infectious beats of Afrobeats and Nollywood films are cherished here and have become part of the cultural fabric, and your famous female writer, Ngozi Adichie, is on the reading list in many secondary schools in our Caribbean. Mr. President, given our historical connection, shared cultural tastes, and existing friendship, it's my sincerest desire that we find ways to strengthen the cultural and economic ties that already exist between our two countries. If I may be more specific, I would like to encourage collaboration in the creative industries and foster exchanges exchange programs between Nigerian and St. Lucian artists, musicians, and filmmakers. In the area of sports, there are several opportunities for developing exchange programs in cricket and football among lovers of the two sports in our respective countries. I'm certain that Nigeria could be of great benefit in enhancing the skills and technical abilities of our aspiring St. Lucian footballers, and we can do the same for Nigeria in cricket. Mr. President, St. Lucia's banking sector is robust and growing and welcomes reputable Nigerian banks, investment houses, and fintech companies as partners in expanding investment opportunities and modern digital financial services. In our drive for greater use of renewable energy, we welcome Nigerian renewable energy companies to bring their technology, expertise, and equipment to support the island's sustainable renewable energy mix. Your country's regulatory and technical experience in the energy sector could help us accelerate the necessary reforms in our infrastructure. With an aging population, our healthcare system is in need of strengthening. So our doors remain open to Nigerian doctors, nurses, and specialists under Nigeria's talent export initiatives. Such a collaboration will enhance healthcare access and outcomes, potentially serving as a model for the wider Caribbean. I'm told that an agreement of technical manpower assistance will be signed with the Ministry of Health regarding our exchange of medical personnel from Nigeria, and I look forward to its implementation.
Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Mr. Philip J. Pierre, addressing a joint sitting of the island's parliament earlier today, and the visiting president of Nigeria, Tinubu, also addressed that sitting. This has been another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. My name is Timothy Poleon. Continue to enjoy your Monday, and we'll be back, God willing, same time tomorrow afternoon at 12:30. Goodbye.